Okay, every parent knows this feeling. You touch your baby's forehead and they feel warm. Your heart does that little jump, doesn't it? They're fussy and your mind just starts racing. That little wave of panic, it is completely and totally normal.
But just take a deep breath. We're going to walk through this together, step by step. This whole explainer is designed to give you clear, practical things you can do so you can turn that worry into confidence. So let's start by understanding what's really going on.
First things first, we kind of have to reframe what a fever actually is. Instead of seeing it as the bad guy, try thinking of it more like your baby's own personal superhero alarm system.
Yeah, a fever feels alarming, I know. But it's actually a good thing. It's a sign that your baby's immune system is on the job, firing on all cylinders. It's basically turning up the heat to create a really terrible environment for any nasty germs to survive. It's their body's natural defense kicking into high gear.
So how do we know when that alarm is officially ringing? Well, it all starts with the numbers. You got to know what's normal for a baby and what isn't.
For a baby, the normal temperature range is usually somewhere between 98.6 and 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, you have to keep in mind something as simple as a really good crying session or just being super active can cause a temporary spike. That's perfectly okay.
And that's why context is so important. If your baby is calm and resting and that thermometer is still reading high, that's your signal. That's when it's time to start monitoring the situation a lot more closely.
So what's causing this fever anyway? It doesn't automatically mean something serious is happening. In fact, fevers are a really common part of just being a baby. There are a few usual suspects. Teething, that's a classic. Those little teeth pushing through can often bring on a low-grade fever. Recent vaccinations are another big one. It's just their immune system getting a workout and building up its defenses. And of course, minor infections are a common culprit as their little bodies learn how to fight off new germs.
Okay, this next part, this is the most important section. We're going to cover the really clear signs that tell you it's time to stop watching and waiting, and it's time to call the doctor. Let's be crystal clear about the red flags. These are the symptoms that when they show up with a fever, mean you need to get medical advice right away.
First, check their energy level. Are they just a little bit sleepy, or are they unusually listless, kind of limp or floppy? If they seem to have zero energy to even move or react, that is a serious warning sign.
Next, are there other things going on? A fever combined with vomiting or diarrhea that just won't stop? That can lead to dehydration so quickly. That combination absolutely warrants an immediate call to your doctor.
And finally, their appetite. Look, it's normal for a sick baby to eat a little less, but have they started refusing to eat or drink anything at all for a long stretch of time? A total loss of appetite is a critical sign that you need to get professional help right away.
Now, if none of those big red flags are there, you can switch gears and focus on making your baby comfortable right at home. So let's go over the best ways to provide some soothing care. First up, let's bust a major myth. The old advice, you've probably heard it, was to bundle them up to sweat out the fever. That's actually the opposite of what you want to do. Their little body is already working overtime to generate heat. Piling on layers just traps that heat, which makes them even more uncomfortable and can even lead to rashes. The best thing you can do is dress them in a single light layer of cotton.
Sponging can also bring a lot of relief, but the method is key. A cold, wet towel will probably make them shiver. And what does shivering do? It actually generates heat, which can raise their temperature. So instead, try this. Use lukewarm water and just use your hands. Gently caress their skin, almost like you're just petting them, and then let the water evaporate naturally. It cools them down gently without that shock of cold.
A few other comfort measures. A quick lukewarm bath is usually okay for a lower fever, around 100 degrees, but you should probably avoid it for higher fevers. Keep the room at a nice, cool, comfortable temperature. And hey, don't underestimate the power of touch. A gentle massage with some warm oil can really help soothe those little body aches and just bring a sense of calm.
So, the fever's broken. That's fantastic news. But the journey isn't quite over. The recovery phase, well, it requires its own special kind of care.
Remember, their body has just been through a major battle, so it's completely normal for them to be cranky, extra clingy, and not very interested in food for several days, maybe even up to a week. This is when your patience is just as important as any medicine.
And through all of this, please remember this. More than any remedy, your baby tunes into your energy. Your calm, reassuring presence is the most powerful comfort you can possibly offer them.
Dealing with your baby's first fever can feel so daunting. But now you have the knowledge. You know what to look for, you know what to do, and you know when to call for help. You are prepared. You can absolutely do this.